Welcome back, everyone. Today we're looking into EA's $55 billion Saudi buyout by PIF and Silver Lake, the largest leveraged deal ever, and its clause on BioWare's future. With the underwhelming performance of Dragon Age: The Veilguard draining the studio's resources, a small team working on Mass Effect 5 struggling to stay afloat, and developers leaving in droves, could this signal the end for BioWare? On September 29, 2025, Electronic Arts (EA) announced its sale to a Saudi-led consortium, which includes the Public Investment Fund, PIF, Silver Lake, and Affinity Partners, for $55 billion. Shareholders will receive $210 per share, representing a 25% premium. However, the PIF will retain its 9.9% stake, allowing them to maintain significant influence over the company. This deal marks the largest leveraged buyout in history, with $20 billion in debt involved. Reuters has cautioned about potential risky mission creep related to Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 gaming initiative. While EA's sports franchises such as FIFA and Madden are expected to remain secure, studios focused on role-playing games like BioWare may face significant cuts first. EA workers are reacting with panic. Anonymous staff members told a PC Gamer that they're waiting for the axe, fearing layoffs and closures as the Saudi Public Investment Fund, PIF, prioritizes profits over passion projects. Kotaku reports that S&P has downgraded EA to junk status, adding pressure to cut costs, making BioWare's recent failures a prime target. This buyout is not a lifeline, it's a noose, with Saudi capital acquiring control but jeopardizing the essence of studios like BioWare. While gamers once loved EA's RPGs, the focus now seems to be on sports games, leaving Mass Effect 5 vulnerable in the process. Dragon Age: The Veilguard was BioWare's last attempt to revive the franchise in 2024, but it was a major failure. Released on October 31, 2024, the game sold only 1.5 million copies, which was 50% below Electronic Arts' sales targets, resulting in a 16% drop in the company's shares. The development faced numerous challenges, including conflicting directions with the Mass Effect team, leading to a messy live service model, rewrites, and an overall change to fit the non-existent modern audience. Critics were quick to point out the sanitized lore and excessive focus on pronouns. Fans expressed their frustration over the Disney-like character designs and the loss of moral complexity. Bloomberg's Jason Schreier highlighted EA's interference as a major problem, revealing that the company initially pushed for multiplayer options only to pull back, ultimately leaving a rushed single-player experience. The impact was devastating. Layoffs affected dozens of employees, reducing BioWare to fewer than 100 staff members. Electronic Arts attempted to sell the studio after its struggles, blaming the financial shortfalls on the failure of Veilguard. However, Veilguard was more than just a poor performance. It was a severe setback for BioWare, forcing them to pivot to Mass Effect 5 with a limited team. The studio that created Shepard's Galaxy is now a shadow of its former self, and the debt from the Saudi buyout could be the final blow. BioWare is losing its identity one developer at a time. The exodus peaked in 2025 with veterans like James Olin, the lead designer of the Mass Effect series, leaving for Archetype Entertainment to work on Exodus, a sci-fi RPG that bears a striking resemblance to Mass Effect. The team behind Mass Effect 5 has made a strong effort to distance itself from Veilguard. Director Mike Gamble tweeted that the realistic visuals of ME5 will not have the stylized look of Veilguard. Additionally, the Mass Effect team even rewrote the finale of Veilguard in an attempt to salvage the project. However, after its poor reception, they are now focusing entirely on the return of Shepard and distancing themselves from any controversy. This shift in focus has resulted in a notable loss of talent from the team. BioWare's shift towards a more woke approach started subtly, but quickly escalated into a troubling trend. The Mass Effect trilogy effectively balanced diversity with storytelling. Shepard's crew was inclusive, without being preachy, earning high praise from both critics and fans. Similarly, Dragon Age Origins allowed players to romance any character, and it felt natural rather than forced. However, as EA tightened its grip on the company, issues arose. Mass Effect Andromeda suffered from buggy animations and was criticized for the hiring of DEI personnel, which led to shallow character arcs. Anthem attempted to capitalize on live service trends, but ultimately flopped, resulting in $200 million losses and vast, empty worlds. The focus on DEI increased significantly after 2020. In Veilguard, elements such as character pronouns, top surgery scars, and the concept of no evil playthroughs transformed it into a fan fiction-inspired experience. Creator David Gator referred to critics as tourists, but the game's sales fell short by 50%. Numerous posts from fans decry Sweet Baby Ink slop, tying to the woke consulting company. Over the years, BioWare shifted from morally complex storytelling to a more sanitized approach with progressive messaging, a change that worsened due to EA's interference, such as implementing live service models and making rewrites for the sake of inclusivity. The failure of Veilguard underscores this reality. Gamers prefer choices, not checklists. The push for a woke agenda not only altered Dragon Age, but also stifled BioWare's creative spirit, transforming once great narratives into lectures. Mass Effect 5 has been in pre-production since 2020, with a small team of under 100 fighting for survival after the Veilguard layoffs. The N7 Day 2025 teaser featured Liara in the Milky Way, evoking Shepard-era vibes, but no release window was provided. In comparison to the original trilogy, Mass Effect 1 was developed over 26 months, featuring a focused story, a captivating atmosphere, and a tight budget. Mass Effect 2 took 22 months to produce, with an enhanced engine that allowed for greater character depth. Similarly, Mass Effect 3 was completed in 22 months, delivering smooth combat and epic stakes. The new Mass Effect game, however, has spent over 5 years in pre-production and is operating with a limited team after many developers moved to other projects. The initial trilogy was created out of passion, but Mass Effect 5 is facing challenges due to EA's involvement and the financial strain from buyouts. The situation is precarious, as the tight development cycles of the original trilogy contrast sharply with the ongoing, extended pre-production. If investment in RPGs diminishes due to external factors, Mass Effect 5 may become the last opportunity for the franchise to thrive. The impact of the Saudi buyout is significant for BioWare. The public investment fund deal, valued at $55 billion, comes with $20 billion in debt, which indicates that while sports projects like FIFA, their cash cow, may remain secure, games like Mass Effect 5 are at risk. What can we expect in terms of policies? There may be cuts to unprofitable projects, and given BioWare's recent failures, it could become a prime target for these reductions. PC Gamer reports that staff are anxiously anticipating potential layoffs. Former director Mark Dara has expressed concerns about a dramatic reduction in personnel. Additionally, the conservative tendencies of Saudi Arabia may lead to the removal of progressive hires, signaling a shift from diverse, inclusive narratives to more neutral, business-focused storytelling, which is good. EA's acquisition in Saudi Arabia casts a long shadow over BioWare. The failure of Veilguard, staff departures, shifts in focus towards more woke themes, and the risk of shutdowns all threaten the future of Mass Effect 5. The passionate dedication seen in the original trilogy contrasts sharply with the precarious state of Mass Effect 5's development, highlighting how far we have fallen. So, what do you think? Is the buyout the end for BioWare? Will we ever see Mass Effect 5? Could this be the end for one of the most beloved RPG studios ever? Drop a comment with your opinion, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more. This is the Paladin signing off. See you next time.